Good day, sir. We are the Group 15, and I am Jaring Gia Sir Kaoga.
And I am Kulano Crisanta, and we will discuss the Immanuel Kant.
Immanuel Kant. Immanuel Kant, 1724, was a German philosopher who lived during the Age of Enlightenment. Enlightenment is man's living his self-accused immaturity. Immaturity is the incapacity to use one's intelligence without the guidance of another. His most prominent works are the Critique of Pure Reason and the Practical Reason, the fusee of which are his thoughts on epistemology, metaphysics, and ethics. They contributed to the establishment of epistemological schools of rationalism and empirism that were very popular during the Age of Reason and the Age of Enlightenment. He was the major inspiration for the German idealism, a movement in German philosophy in the late modern era through his development of Kantianism. Kantianism is also used to refer to the contemporary philosophical perspective in continental philosophy. Next is theory of deontology. It is closely associated with Immanuel Kant's model of ethical theory. It argues that the morality, that is, the rightness or wrongness of a human act, depends on whether such act fulfills a duty or not, rather than on its consequence. In deontology ethics, therefore, before we made moral decision, we have to consider first which action are right and proceed from there. Deontological ethics is duty-based. As a matter of fact, deontology comes from the Greek word deon, which means duty. One of the basic ideas in deontological ethics is that some actions are right or wrong in themselves, regardless of their consequence. For example, people have the obligation to tell the truth, even if doing so might produce some unfavorable result. In other words, as Kant would have is believe, telling the truth is always right in itself, even if again, doing so might produce some unfavorable result. Telling a lie, on the contrary, is always wrong for deontological ethics. And a little bit reminder, before we make moral decision, we have to consider first which action are right and wrong to proceed from there. And that's all, and Miss Colano will continue the discussion.
Theory of goodwill. According to Kant, goodwill is the action that remains good regardless of the circumstance. The concept of will presents the motivation behind an action that can be controlled. According also to Kant, the goodwill absolutely goodwill cannot be an instrument for one something evil. So the example here, good without limitation, medicine is good, do not if taken in a close that is exercised considering the age, weight or other consideration of the patient. So the example also here of this study, you ought to study only certain things are true about you, like you care about doing well that you want to succeed in the test. So, for this example, nagaano siya og kanang unsay gusto nimo nga buhaton sa imong kinabuhi by what you want to do in the process of good way. Example, kung nakay buhaton, it's better na lang na kanang i-pray nimo siya, then to motivate yourself para maka-continue ka and to succeed what you want. The second is theory of categorical imperative. The categorical imperative, there are four formulations of the categorical imperative. Act only according to the maxim, but you can at the same time will that it should become a universal law. So according to this formulation, to that maxim where an act that contradicts itself already established moral laws should be not done. So example, cheating during exams, quizzes, is a good act. So, in this example, no, because everybody else cheated, then real learning stops and the main essence of education is contradicted. Imagine a world better in this world. So, kabaluta na cheating is doing a bad. Nakabaluta nga, unsay right nga buhaton nato. So, it's better to learn than to cheat. So, the first formulation is the formula of the humanity. Act in such a way that you treat humanity, whether in your own person or in the person of any other, never merely as a means to an end, but always at the same time as the end. So the example here, to treat persons with dignity and respect, we must always treat them as ends in themselves and never as mere means. So, and this formulation nagabase sa respeto to other people and to respect the dignity of other people. Kaya nag-start ang atong respeto nagigikan sa atong sarili through nga pabuhaton po nato na sa ubang tao. So the second is the formula of anatomy. The third practical principle follows the ultimate condition. Example, if you hear that someone is poor and hungry, this end at that point might be to get food. So, in this anatomy, nag-reflect siya sa personality sa tao. So, for example, in the principle of the human, so, kita, kabaluta, and the time of needed ta sa isa ka tao, and the example is, kanang naitaw nga gutumon, so, nagkailangan po kanang mutabang ta sa ubang tao. True ana, bisag dili siya financially, but and this for sake lang nga matabagan to siya in other way na mapakaon na to or matagaan og tubig is kanang good principle na sa isa ka tao. So the third is the kingdom of ends formulation. Act according to maxim of universally legislating member of a merely possible kingdom of ends. So the example here, so act as if you were two your maxims, a law-making member of a kingdom of ends. Never treat a person as means to end. Person are always ends in themselves. We must never use or exploit anyone for whatever purpose. So, in this formulation, nag-state siya sa batasan or sa attitude sa tao nga kanang usahay makabuhat ta og mga butang in sa ato lang nga purpose, sariling purpose lang nato. So, stop na magbuhatag kanang pansamantala o pansamantalahan ang kanang kaayo sa tao because whatever purpose in our life, kailangan nato magbuhat og kanang maayo nga ang kanang deserve gud nga i-treat sa tao. So, it's straight and kanang related na gyapon siya sa personality sa tao. So sa unsay bahatan na to sa isig ka tao mabalik ang syapon sa to. So start to kanang to do what so mag-start nga magbuhat og unsay kaayuhan sa tao para at the end of the time dili ta mag-regret. That's all po. Thank you.